Welcome to Complexity Made Simple. My name is Paul Allen, and the subject of today's video newsletter, well, what we're going to talk about is value stream mapping, big picture mapping. Okay, so doing a big picture. Value stream map. So we are going to go lean today. So I spend an awful lot of time talking to my clients about Six Sigma. I also do lean consultancy as well at various times, and I like to get these things right. And there's some really important misconceptions about big picture value stream mapping that I really want to just get across. So I've had one or two discussions recently with clients and gone, okay, we kind of misunderstood what's going on. So typically, the value stream map, some important points. What it is doing, it is looking, from the customer's perspective. So the map is behaving like a customer. So because you are behaving like a customer, you are going to follow one product, one order effectively. Like the customer's turned up and said, you make 10 things. I'd like to buy item number 6, please. And then there's a process that goes on. Set of activities in the office, set of activities in production. And what we're going to do is to track what's the experience that the customer order typically sees as it goes through the process and eventually gets delivered to the customer. So we're going to follow one product. Now here's a point. So there's a few things. So number one, you've got to follow from order to delivery. You don't want to go on value stream map part of your process. It doesn't mean anything. Value only means something if you get paid for it. So it's only valuable when you give the items to the customer and they give you cash for it. So we need to map from beginning to end. Now little bits in between. We need to follow one order, one product. But here's the point. That one product represents all products. Okay, it represents all products for that value stream. So people want to do, they say, can we do 3 products at once? Can we do a family? Can we do a family of products in the map? If you do that, you're not looking at it from the customer's perspective. It's all getting mixed up because it's an individual customer. It's like John turned up, placed an order. What did John see? That's what you're trying to map. That's what you're trying to improve. That's what lean does. It treats the customer brilliantly, the individual customer brilliantly. And everybody walks away from your company saying, wow, these people give me a fantastic service. They always buy more and more from you. You make piles of cash. So the one product represents all the products through that individual value stream. So let's say that we make staplers, and I've got a stapler here that we can look at. So let me just pick that up and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so this value stream contains a molded part, but it also contains a metal part. Okay, So if we choose to do a value stream map, and we're going to do it, by the way, you're going to pick an individual component of this to track. So in this case, we're going to pick the metal component. What the metal component represents are all the metal components that go through that series of events. So in this case, the component was pressed, it was plated, and it's assembled into the item. So every component that gets pressed, that gets plated, and that gets assembled into the component is going through that value stream. This thing represents every product that does that. Every product is going to experience the same thing. So if you've got defect rates associated with it, if you've got a long queue that's associated with it, if you've got long lead times on the steel that's associated with it, everything that goes through that value stream, this one component is representing them all. And therefore, when you do one map, you're not doing one product. One product is on it, but it doesn't represent one product. It represents every bloody part that goes through those steps. Okay? So, and by the way, you just represent that component. So what we'd be doing is we'd be going like this, look. Customer places an order. Where does it go to? Sales. Information flows into planning. Purchasing. Supplier delivers the material in, probably to goods in, press shop, plating, assemble and pack, back to the customer. The fat black lines represent the flow of the parts. The thin lines, and normally I do them in red, the thin red lines represent information. Okay, now then, that value stream is for metal parts. What I don't want you to do, and what I want you to avoid, is to say, well, let's do the plastic parts and the plastic base and the metal anvil and all the other bits and pieces, the rubber base on the bottom and things, and you try and build this monstrous value stream that just gets too complicated and you lose the plot. So this value stream is for metal based components that go through plating. Now, if you had metal based components that went through painting, this one single box is going to be different. That's all. Because the supplier of the steel is going to be similar, possibly the customer is going to be similar. All the same processes across the top will go on, same as down here and in pressing, etc. So it doesn't take much to take that out and to create one which for painted products. Now, of course, I mean, this is a relatively old-fashioned stapler. These days they're all plastic. And in the company that I worked at, we made these metal ones, but we also made the plastic ones. Now obviously the plastic one, the value stream is different. We are going to do a different value stream map for the plastic based staplers. So here, for instance, instead of this being steel, for the metal based, now what we're dealing with is plastic. When we come down here, we're dealing with moulding. So this value stream map starts to change. But again, there's a good chance that this is the same, this is the same, this is the same. Your supplier is different, so maybe the lead time of plastic and steel is different. Maybe the defect rates for moulding and for pressing are different. Maybe you've got an additional defect rate that you get at plating that creates more difficulty with steel parts, etc. Maybe the moulded parts assemble easier than the pressed parts. Maybe they're more accurate, I don't know. So maybe there's a different defect rate over here. That would be a different value stream. But the idea is you pick one product, and one product represents all the metal-based staplers. One product represents all the plastic-based staplers. You don't have to map a product family. It's not the way it works. Customers, as a customer, I'm the customer in the street. I didn't buy the family. I bought one stapler. I bought this metal one. In fact, I was given this when I left, so they I was going to say engraved it for me. The customer doesn't go and buy the family. What the customer goes and buys is one item. And that's what you're trying to represent. What service does Paul get when he orders one stapler? How well does it get to him? What's the quality like? What's the lead time like? How well did we service that one order? How many times did the order go wrong? How much rework did we do in purchasing and planning? Redoing the MRP? How much replanning did we do in the press shop? What's the defect rate, quality points? What's the defect rate in the plating shop? But this map represents all the products that go through those steps. If it's a moulding shop, the one product would represent everything that goes through the supplier of the plastic and the moulding through to the assembly. You don't need to do families. You don't need to do complicated diagrams. One product, one order, that's what the customer experience is. Identify all the blockages and problems, go fix them, and make bucket loads of cash. And if you do it that way, you'll keep your analysis dead simple. You'll be able to see where the improvements need to be made, and you'll make improvements so much quicker. And one last thing, of course, you've picked one product. But when we make the change to the process, all the products will be changed to that process. So for example, let's say that we decide to put the steel for this thing on a pull system. Now initially we go and try it, so it'll be a trial for the first one. But once you've done the one product and it works, we're going to put everything on a pull system. Everything that has the same volume as this, everything that's similar to this product. If it's a stranger product that you can't predict the use of, you wouldn't use a pull system. But every repeating and runner product that uses steel, we're going to put pull systems in for every type of steel we've got. So you started off with one product. We focused right down. We identified areas where we could improve. But then what we did, we opened the improvement up to the family of products. Then all the improvement that we do is to the family. All the improvements that get done in these boxes will be to everything that goes through planning and purchasing. And so by doing a map on one product, you improve the whole process. That is the way value stream mapping works. And of course, what you're trying to do, you're measuring, really important. What are you measuring? Flow time. You're measuring flow time. The customer placed an order on the 1st of January. It flows. There's time. They received the order on, let's say, the 31st of January. So in other words, 1 month passed by. What this map will contain is every minute of that month. So you can see where can you improve. You are measuring flow time from the point where the order was placed to the point where the order was delivered. And that's what value stream mapping does. It's one product to focus and behave like the customer, and then we expand the improvements and we behave like a factory manager, because all the improvements need to be made to every product in that family. Start by behaving like a customer, finish by behaving like a factory manager. Use value stream mapping and you'll make piles and piles of cash.